My family thought I was powerless, until I showed them the paperwork. I never thought my own family would be the reason I stopped trusting anyone. I'm 29 now, but this happened 2 years ago, right after my dad passed away. He owned a medium-sized construction company. Nothing huge, but successful enough to support all of us. My mom, my older brother Eric, my younger sister Mia, and me. Everyone assumed Eric would take over the business. He was loud, charismatic, and Dad's golden child. Meanwhile, I was the quiet one, the tech kid. I worked remotely, built small apps, and did pretty well for myself, but I never talked about money, so everyone assumed I was scraping by. Turns out, that assumption became the opening for their betrayal. The setup: a month after the funeral, Mom invited me to a family meeting. I thought it was about dividing responsibilities or discussing Dad's estate. Nope, they sat me down like I was some stranger. Eric slid a folder across the table. Inside was a document saying I agreed to hand over all of Dad's business shares to him, for the good of the family. I laughed at first, then I realized they were serious. Mom said, "You're not involved in the business, honey. It's better if the shares go to someone who understands it." Eric added, "You can keep your savings. You don't contribute anyway." That part hit me hard. He said, savings, like he knew what was in my bank account. Spoiler, he didn't. Not even close. What made everything worse was Mia. She didn't say much, just looked guilty. Later I found out why. The investigation. The papers were obviously fake. The signature line already had my forged signature on it. So I did what any logical, tech-minded person would do. I started digging. I checked my dad's emails, documents, and financial data. Dad and I were close, even if no one else saw it. He trusted me with his passwords because I helped him set up the company's digital system years ago. What I found made my stomach drop. Eric had already tried to move company assets, using Dad's death as an excuse. Mia had been pressured into helping him. She handled administrative stuff and had access to files. And Mom? She just believed whatever Eric told her. He always manipulated her emotions. The worst part? They planned to corner me legally. They thought I was broke and desperate enough to sign anything. That's when I realized, they didn't just want the business. They wanted me out of the picture entirely. The twist they didn't expect. Here's what they didn't know. I had quietly bought 30% of the company from Dad years ago when he wanted to retire early. Paid in full. The documents were legally filed and protected. My lawyer, Dad's old friend, was already aware of everything. I was not broke. I had built a software tool that sold for a high six-figure sum. And Dad had left me an additional 20% in his will, because I was the one who helped modernize the business. So legally, I was the majority shareholder. The confrontation. I invited them to a meeting this time. Eric came in smug. Mom looked stressed. Mia couldn't make eye contact. I thanked them for the offer they gave me. Then I dropped the folder of authenticated legal documents in front of them. Eric skimmed it, his face drained of color. Mom whispered, What does this mean?" "It means," I said calmly, "I own 50% of Dad's company. You can't force me out. And Eric, your attempt to forge my signature and move assets has already been reported." Mia cried instantly. She apologized, saying she never wanted to be part of it, but Eric threatened to cut her pay. Mom just stared down, realizing how badly she had failed all of us. Eric exploded, accused me of plotting, of stealing, of being Dad's favorite behind everyone's back. But I didn't yell, I didn't insult him. I just said, Dad trusted the one person who didn't want power. And now you've proven why. The aftermath. Eric was removed from the company. Mom begged me not to press charges. I didn't, but only because Dad wouldn't have wanted prison drama. I gave Mia a chance to start over under supervision. She took responsibility and has been rebuilding trust since. As for Mom, our relationship is fragile. She only sees now how much she let Eric manipulate her. I'm running the company part-time with a proper manager while I focus on tech projects. And sometimes when I walk into Dad's old office, I remember something he told me years ago. The quiet ones aren't weak. They're just paying attention. Guess he was right.